Butler's race to win. Carl Handwerk pushing Paul Butler to the win. Oh, they're side by side coming to the win.
Oh no! Oh no!
Anthony Kieswetter is your winner.
Legs are tied, these hands are broken. Alone I try, with words unspoken. Silent cry, a breath is frozen. With blinded eyes, I fear myself. It's burning down, it's burning high. When ashes fall, the legends rise. We burn it out, a mile wide. When ashes fall, the legends rise. Throat is dry, my vision's fading. I'm paralyzed and left here waiting, taking time. Just one step forward, won't lose my mind. I'm here to stay. It's burning down, it's burning high. When ashes fall, the legends rise. We burn it out, a mile wide. When ashes fall, the legends rise. Whoa. Do something about it or just stand there and bleed. It's burning down, it's burning high. When ashes fall, the legends rise. We burn it out, a mile wide. When ashes fall, the legends rise. Whoa. Legends rise.
I am Roland Johns. I am sim racing.
I'm Wes Fuller, driver the number 35, stand up to Cancer Ford. I am sim racing.
Hi, I'm Cameron Peterson. I am sim racing.
What's going on? It's Rob Biotti from 4i Racing, driver number 44 Toyota Camry, and I am sim racing.
Hello, I am Christopher Hamilton, and I am sim racing.
Hi, I'm Eric Andrews. I am sim racing.
We are sim racing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Core Vintage Cup Series finale race. Tonight is the Atlanta Journal 250 racing at Atlanta Motorsports. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a long night tonight. A lot of these guys out here on the track are definitely having some difficulty with the track itself. The car wants to step out on them around every corner. So this is going to be a very tough track for a lot of the drivers. They're going to really have to be on their toes at all times and be cautious of their tire wear. It just seems like one of those tracks is going to wear out those tires extremely bad. Once again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Tonight's sponsors are going to be Your Buy Machine, TechNet Professional, Mission Car Care, Southern Heart Creations, and Joker Graphics. Also for our broadcast sponsors, going to be Critical Hit Bachelors and Southern California's Nautilus Media Systems. I am your commentator, Randall. I've been here for quite a long time. and I appreciate everyone coming out tonight and watching this broadcast. Tonight's race is going to be a fun one. Once again, if you have not checked the standings or gone through the points or followed up with anything, CoreRacingLeague.com is where you want to go to check out all your point standings for both the Premier and Vintage Cup. Carl and Paul and a couple of the other admins do a great job keeping that up to date and full of news articles. That's right, they write articles about each race every week. Try to get it done before the next race, which is always good to see, and they're very, very good. Carl himself, as a part-time writer, is doing very well. So hats off to him for taking the time to write articles about everyone and keep up to date with all the races. It's pretty awesome to see him do that. With that being said, we have some drivers already out in the field to going ahead and hitting their qualifying laps right now. It looks like Hamilton, Andrews, Fuller, Crockett, and Lohr have all thrown down theirs. Looks like Dalton Drums is out on the track at the moment. Racing number 4, Oreo, Ritz. It's been a very, very long weekend. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and is going to have a Happy New Year when that comes around, because I will be on vacation. But this is the last race of all the core racing till we come back for the new seasons. So I'm going to be sad. I'm going to miss it for a couple weeks, but it's okay. We all need a break. And it's been a long season for both the Vintage and the Premier Series, and I can't wait to see the finale race. We had Carl Handwerk win the championship, Nick Nickerson win the All-Star race. Who is going to come in and finish off the championship for the Vintage Series? That is the biggest question tonight. We're going to go ahead and pull in Carl Handwerk and talk a little bit about the running, and then go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, our main admin, the man that hosts this series, along with Eric Andrews and a couple of the other people, Carl Handwerk. Man, it's been a long time coming, but we're wrapping up the season. Can you give us a little bit of information about the points and how it's going to turn out tonight?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, this is our last race of the season for the Vintage Cup. So technically, we're down to our 4. Our top 4 guys are the ones that made it. But our number 1 overall seed, Nick Nickerson, is not sure he's going to be able to complete the race. So we're going to expand that to 5 under the assumption that Nick won't make it. So if Nick makes it, it'll still be the top 4. But if he doesn't make the full race, Kevin Foster will be our 5th guy that will technically represent the 4 guys racing for the championship. So he's going to be getting the first EOL. Behind him, we're going to have Andrew Gunther. Then behind him, we're going to have Willie Evernham. Behind him, myself. And then starting last on the field will be Nick Nickerson. So those are the 5 that are going to be running for the championship. Again, Kevin is only in the championship if Nick is not able to complete the race.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be the lineup for tonight for the championship. Question is, who is going to make it tonight? Once again, thank you, Carl, for updating us on that, and good luck out on the track.
Yes, sir. Thanks, buddy.
All right. So we got about 2 minutes left on qualifying. A couple of drivers still waiting on them to throw down their times. But with that being said, just missed him. Looks like Kevin Foster's still on the track. Let's see who else is throwing laps. Gonna go ahead and try and run through it. Well, looks like everyone else is holding off. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and take this moment to get up, get some snacks, get some drinks, because it's going to be a long race tonight. Should not see too many cautions. Even though it's been a tough track, I think they'll get their corks out, maybe 1 or 2 cautions. But with that being said, we'll see these guys do as they always have done in these last couple of races and throw some pretty awesome green flag finishes. So as we've seen the Vintage Series, mature and become what it is nowadays, or what it is today. We start off having a trail of caution finishes, but towards the end, everyone seemed to buckle down, find their groove, and we've seen some amazing green flag finishes and fights all the way through. So go ahead and get your snacks and get ready, because it's going to be a very long race tonight. All right, here we go. As we grid up, ladies and gentlemen, let's run through the drivers out tonight. Up in front, Christopher Hamilton running that Death by Moose Media number 64. On his outside, we have Eric Andrews in the number 9, Raise Energy Drink. Wes Fuller in the number 35, Stamp to Cancer. Matt Crockett in the number 10, Alpine Star. Anthony Keysweater in the number 34. I believe that's Yellow Mellow or one of the... I forgot which one that was. Completely Yellow. Then we have the Spam number 38. That's going to be Dylan McDonald. Dalton Drummond's in the number 4, Oreo and Ritz. Dave Lohr in the number 17, Western Auto. Kevin Foster in the number 8, TechNet Professional. Andrew Gunther in the Home Depot number 59. Willie Evernham in the Rusted Out number 19, Stand Up to Cancer. Love that paint scheme. Great job, Joker Graphics. Carl Handwerk in the number 18 Core Racing Paint Scheme. Nick Nickerson in the number 85 Miller Genuine Draft. All right. That is going to be our lineup tonight. Once again, those guys in the rear are going to be our champions. They have to drive up the field and show what they got. So let's see what happens. And we have the green flag. Christopher Hamilton gets a great start. Going into 1 and 2. As you can see, takes the lead. Wes Fuller and Eric Andrews going at it. Matt Crockett, look at that. Dylan McDonald making a move on the outside on Anthony Keysweater. Wes Fuller not giving up on Eric Andrews, trying to beat him down the straight. And the caution is out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no. What has happened out tonight? Let's go ahead and find out once these guys catch up to the pace car. All right, gonna go ahead and look for. Looks like Willie Evernham got into it. Let's see if we can catch that happening. Looks like, ooh, that looked like a little bit of like a net code there. I want to run that back one more time. It looks like Nick Nickerson gave him a tap. Yeah, but that did not look like it made contact. Interesting. We're going to go for one more. Sorry about this, Willie. Don't mean to beat a dead horse. I just want to get a better angle on it. Yeah, no, that was definitely a net code. You can see right there, Nick Nickerson was about a foot, 2 feet away from Willie's bumper, and it just spun him like he was there. That's a bummer. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a critical hit Bass Lewis caution report. Looks like iRacing back at it again. Hate to see that. All right, and we are back under caution after that restart. Looks like iRacing once again was a net code, which means, in layman's terms, sometimes the car does not do what it's supposed to do. So looks like the car was showing where, visually where it was, but the frame of the car was a little bit farther. And so when Nick went to move in and close the gap, it acted like he hit the car when he actually didn't visually. And that's pretty much the rough idea of what a netcode is pretty much the car is not where it should be, and it acts like it is. It's a bummer. It happens. All right, so it looked like everyone was able to find their pace on that restart, but just small hiccup between Willie and Nick Nickerson. We'll have to see how these guys handle it on this next restart. They will be doing a single file restart, unlike the double that they just had. So this is definitely going to change it up a little bit. Once again, for the vintage, any driver that's lapped gets to start on the inside of the leader. So that's one thing that I've always really liked about this series. It's a little bit tougher for these guys to get their laps back and to really make it back onto the track, but to see some of the lap drivers have to race it out with the leader, especially if they don't want to lose that lap or stay ahead of them, it's really, really tough, and then they have to really hope another caution comes out and they can race back into the back of the line and start again. All right, lights are off. Going green after we round this corner. We're going to have 82 laps tonight. Hopefully this is the only caution we'll see out. Pace car's off. Cue the music. Green flag up in the air. Beautiful start by all the drivers. Ooh, looks like a little bit of a shake-up there between Gunther and, I want to say that was Handwerk. If we look back in that field and watch these guys move up, you have Andrew Gunther, Carl Handwerk, Willie Evernham, once again Foster possibly in the bubble, and Nick Nickerson all racing for the championship right now. You can see Carl and Andrew Gunther moving up the field. Ooh, Carl's going to make it a close call. Nope, he's going to go ahead and take the inside away from Dylan McDonald and Matt Crockett. Can Matt close the door on him? Nope, he's going to hold it open. Come on, Matt. Don't let him get past you. Looks like a clean pass by Carl Handwerk. Andrew Gunther also going for the same line. Wes Fuller now having to play some defense as Carl Handwerk comes up behind him. Andrew Gunther clears Dalton Drummonds and Dylan McDonald. Sitting in 5th now, it's going to be Eric Andrews, Wes Fuller, Carl Handwerk, and in first, Christopher Hamilton, who's just running away with it. Now it's up to these two guys, Eric Andrews and Wes Fuller. They have to play some good defense. Don't let Carl Handwerk catch up to you. Don't give him the inside. Play some defense. Don't let him get around you. I know tires are a big thing, but you can't let him eat up that field too soon. Carl Handwerk looking to the inside, coming down that straight. Looks like Willie Evernham trying to make his way back up the field if we stick with him. He's got Matt Crockett and Kevin Foster in front of him. Look at that, Christopher Hamilton leading the pack right now. Tight pack between Carl Handwerk, Eric Andrews, and Wes Fuller right now. Oh, contact! Eric Andrews gets turned by Carl. Oh, that is going to be a big pileup tonight. Nick Nickerson, Carl Handwerk, Andrew Gunther, Kevin Foster. Willie makes it out clean. Oh, man. Ouch. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to a critical hit Bass Stewards caution report and find out exactly what happened out there, but I'm pretty sure Andrews hit the brakes just a tad bit and got caught up. Looks like just got into it with Carl there. Let's see if we can find out exactly what happened. All right, here we go. Yeah, it looks like Carl just came in and gave him a bump. And that just upset everyone. Oh, man. Whew. Give that one more replay so you guys can see. Just boop. Simple mistakes, man. Ouch. We all make them. Well, there you go. Critically Bass Stewards caution report. That was definitely a rough one. Out on the field, still alive, Anthony Keysweater staying out. Oh, man. That is not something you want to see out there tonight. I don't know how to put it other than that. That was, ouch. That was rough. Well, it looks like Hamilton is still making it out. Keysweater stayed out. He's probably going to hit the pits if he's going to try and stay on, a fresh set of tires. Hamilton, though, yep, is going to be staying out now that he's already been in the pits. Hamilton had an amazing, amazing start. Question is, can he keep Wes Fuller and possibly Dylan McDonald off his tail on this next restart? Looks like Dave Lohr also up in front. I wonder if Dave's waiting for a lucky dog. Oh, yep, he is. I was about to say, it looks like he's a lap behind, but just got the lucky dog. He's going to get a wave around. That should get him back out on the lead lap. Good to see that. So on this restart, it's going to be Christopher Hamilton, Wes Fuller, Dylan McDonald, Matt Crockett, Eric Andrews, and Kevin Foster rounding out our top 6. Andrew Gunther right behind him, Anthony Keysweater, then Nick Nickerson, Dalton Drummonds, Willie Evernham, Dave Lohr, Carl Handwerk are all going to be lined up afterwards. 13 drivers following the top 6, or sorry, 7 drivers following the top 6. And lights are off. That means we are 1 to green. Wes Fuller had a really good run up there. Man, Hamilton's been on a hot streak. As much as he's said that he's not an oval guy and finally changed it to kind of an oval guy, you've been on a hot streak, kid. Taking some time off did him pretty well, and he came back with something to prove. And it's been pretty awesome to see him up in the front. Question is, can he hold off some of the seasoned drivers like Wes Fuller and Dylan McDonald, also Matt Crockett and Eric Andrews, as they are right behind him. He's been having a good shot, a whole shot from the start, being able to break away from the pack. I think if these guys can stay up behind him and not let him break away, that's when they're really going to have their opportunity to shine. So we're just have to see how that turns out. Here we go. Pace car getting ready to get off the track. Green flag up in the air. And we are green tonight. Look at that. Christopher Hamilton, another great restart. Wes Fuller cuts to the inside, trying to get the lead away from him. Doesn't want him to break away too fast. But Hamilton is gone. As Wes Fuller and Dylan McDonald battle out. Dylan getting a little loose on that exit. Looks like Wes dropping into the apron. Looks like he might actually have a car issue going on. Uh-oh. I hope he doesn't have any major issues and hope he's able to get back on the track. That's going to leave an opening for both Eric Andrews and Matt Crockett to catch up and try and swing up to Dylan McDonald. Hopefully they can do that. Eric Andrews and Matt Crockett just a tad bit behind Dylan McDonald. Dylan, who's been on a hot streak, him and Bennett Allen, I've never seen. I keep talking about him, but rookies off the bat with something to prove. These guys have been on a hot streak, catching up to some of the leaders and giving the leaders a run for their money. And no doubt about it, you can see it right now, Dylan McDonald trying to reel in Christopher Hamilton. Look at that. Kind of an oval guy. I think you need to be hashtag I am an oval guy. Once again, shout out to Hamilton for running my my Death by Moose Media paint scheme. I really appreciate it. I love seeing it out there. It's pretty awesome to see him rock it. And I've been, as long as I've been broadcasting, Hamilton's been running those paint schemes, and it's been pretty awesome to see that. So it's cool to have 2 years of paint schemes from Hamilton. Oh, look at that. Able to break away from him. Dylan McDonald is losing his edge right now. Looks like his time is dropping off just a tad bit. But there is a battle between Nick Nickerson, Kevin Foster, and Andrew Gunther right now as they try to work up the field. Once again, these guys are in the running for the championship. They need to finish as well as possible. It is between these three at the moment. What is going to happen? As you can see, they are reeling in Dylan McDonald up in front. Sorry, they're reeling in Matt Crockett. They then have Eric Andrews and Dylan McDonald before they can get up to Christopher Hamilton. A little bit of a feat, but they are closing the gap slowly and surely. As you can see, Nick Nickerson trying to just stay up with Dylan McDonald. Doesn't want to let him get too far away. Riding along with Eric Andrews right now, sitting in third. This is the point of the race. As you can see, they're on lap 21 at the moment. This is after that first couple of incidents, it's now going to slow down and turn into pretty much a long endurance race. These guys need to throw as many laps as possible and just be as consistent as possible. Watch their gaps, watch their timing, see if they're improving or losing time, and how much are you losing by. This is where you would have in real life a crew chief giving you a breakdown of like, hey, you're 2 seconds faster, or you're losing a half a second or a quarter of a second every lap. Please drop into the pits. You need tires. These guys are going to have to work on their strategy. They are going to have to grab tires. We talked about it before. Their tires are going to burn off pretty fast. It's just something that's going to happen. As you see, Dylan looks like he's already overdriving his tires a little bit, swinging out a little bit more, just trying to stay in the corner and not lose it. And that's going to open up for Eric Andrews to try and take him on the infield, or it looks like he just put a tire over the infield, but take him across the front straight and then jump into 1 and 2 and go side by side with them. Beautiful pass by Eric Andrews right now. Holding on strong up in front. Andrew Gunther finally able to close that gap between him and Matt Crockett. Looks like Nick Nickerson is in the pits and possibly out of the race. Nick did have prior engagements to get to. Sometimes life happens, and you got to go ahead and take care of that, which is a bummer. I hate to see Nick take a knee, but at the same time, that's life. You got to do what you got to do, which means it's going to open up the slot for Kevin Foster for a chance to win. And if we look up in front, it's Andrew Gunther, who technically is first for the championship, and then behind him, Kevin Foster. So 1-2 from both those guys. Kevin getting that shoe in just because Nick might have to call it a race, and I think he just did. So for sure, this should be Kevin's opportunity to shine. He's got Andrew Gunther in front of him. He's just got to outlast him and get up to that front spot. Andrew Gunther going for a clean pass on Dylan McDonald there. Taking him on the inside. Ooh, getting a little close to each other. Side by side into 1 and 2. Looks like Dylan's losing the corner just a tad bit. Andrews able to keep his speed through, does a beautiful pass. Looks like Matt Crockett also lining up for a pass on Dylan McDonald. Like I called out before, I think Dylan McDonald drove off his tires. You can see him right now. He's just losing time lap after lap. Now is really kind of, how much time are you willing to lose before you say, hey, I got to hit the pits. Definitely right on that one, Kelly. It's a bummer to hear that Nick needs to take a knee and drop into the pits, but this is both Kevin's time to shine. He's got an opportunity to make his way up there. You can see him right now. We'll go ahead and jump over as he's got to pass Dylan McDonald, as Dylan once again is dropping back pretty fast. He's trying to hold his line, but you can see him just slowly pushing to the outside. Kevin's got to be careful though. Dylan could overcorrect and turn into him. And you can see up in front, that little white dot, that's Christopher Hamilton. So far away, I have to use glasses to see him. There we go, beautiful pass. Kevin Foster taking him on the inside. You see McDonald pushing out to the outside right now. Look at that. Andrew Gunther going for a pass on Eric Andrews. Can he complete it? Matt Crockett also looking for an opening. Matt's been riding on the coattails of Andrews just for a little, or not Andrews, sorry, of Gunther for a little bit. Gunther opening up those holes and opportunities for Matt Crockett to get to slide in as well, which is perfect. You got to use those, openings and follow through. As he shoots down the line. Look at that, swinging out wide. Beautiful entrance exit out of 2. Gets in front of him. Matt Crockett's turn to slide up next to Eric Andrews and trying to overtake him. But look at that. Kevin Foster right behind him. Also looking for that opportunity. And it looks like Kevin Foster shooting through on the inside of Matt Crockett. Matt driving the outside line. Possibly tires a little too worn to keep up. Up in front, Christopher Hamilton, Andrew Gunther, Eric Andrews, Kevin Foster, and Matt Crockett. Top 5 guys in the bubble, and then Dylan McDonald looks like he dropped off pretty fast. As you see Andrew Gunther up in front, Eric Andrews right behind him. Kevin Foster looking to the inside. Can he go for that pass? Andrew closes the door. Can he keep it closed? On the exit. Oh, Kevin checks up on the brakes. Nope. Andrew's playing a little bit of defense, I think. You saw him kind of swing out and block him. He had an opportunity to step out on him and possibly take the inside with Matt Crockett behind him. But it looks like he's going to make it and still be okay. Looks like also Dylan McDonald dropping back again. Wes Fuller going for a pass on him. And it also looks like the second stand cancer, Willie Evernham, also going for a pass on him. Those tires are affecting him really, really badly right now. All right, back into 3 and 4. Foster waiting for his opportunity to pass. Andrews on that mid to low line, just not pushed out just enough to let Foster pass. Just right on the edge there. But look at this, Hamilton's dropping off in time. Andrew Gunther able to catch up to him. This is something he's been waiting for quite a while. Into 3 and 4. Look at that gap close, ladies and gentlemen. Hamilton is falling off faster than a paper airplane with a rock in it. I was trying to look for some sort of saying, but I couldn't think of one at the moment. He's sinking faster than the boat with holes. That is not good. He definitely needs to hit the pits and figure out what's going on there. It's either going to be tire wear. Once again, these guys really emphasized how much tires are going to affect their game, and you can see right now with Hamilton dropping off, I think it might be tires for him. Andrew Gunther now up in front. Kevin Foster taking second as Hamilton once again drops off once more. Back into the pack. Crockett still making his way up there. Eric Andrews also in the same situation as Hamilton, slowly dropping off. And there we go. Hamilton, Andrews hitting the pits. Anyone else dropping in? Looks like Key Sweater coming out of there. Foster having to run down Andrew Gunther right now. Gunther playing a little bit of defense on Kevin Foster. Kevin looking to the inside, trying to take him on the front straight. Swings out to the outside. He's probably going to cross over as they go into 1 and 2. Nope, he's going to go ahead and stay behind him. Kevin fishing for that pass, but once again does not want to burn off his tires, trying to attempt to make one. And there we go. Still a beautiful dance between Kevin Foster and Andrew Gunther as they are riding out for position right now. Once again, we are past that halfway point. 42 laps done, 82 in total. What is going to happen between these guys? Who is going to pit first? Once again, we saw between Eric Andrews, Christopher Hamilton, and I'm trying to think of who, Dalton Drummond, or no, not Dalton, Dylan McDonald. We saw how much tires really affected their run. They dropped off really fast. So we're going to see probably the same thing happen with a lot of the other drivers, where they need to be very aware of when to pit and how long do you drive it out before you're really affecting yourself out there. As you can see, both Andrew Gunther and Kevin Foster hitting the pits. Matt Crockett decides to stay out and lead a lap. That's going to go ahead and give it to Dalton Drummonds if he can get out there in time. And then right behind him, Dave Lord. They're probably going to hit the pits as well. Let's go ahead and pull up pit stops and see who's been in and who has not. So you can see Crockett's only pitted once. So Lore and Drummonds, looks like Drummonds hitting the pits. Lore is staying out. So it's going to be Crockett and Lore out right now. So everyone needs to be on pit stop number 2. Looks like Key Sweater also staying out. So it's definitely going to change it up quite a bit for these guys. Matt Crockett hitting the pits. Can he get out in time? He's got Carl Handwerk and Willie Evernham rounding the corner. Still grabbing a set of tires. And Willie Evernham getting around the number 18 of Carl Handwerk. Willie having to get some laps back. Handwerk into the pits. That's going to give it to Matt Crockett up in front. Matt able to get in and out of the pits, up in front of everyone out in the track. Wow. Way to go, Matt. Love to see that. Matt Crockett has raced up in front plenty of times, but he's never secured himself a podium finish. This might be the one. No, he overdrives the corner. No, come on. Oh, man. Matt Crockett overdriving the corner, sending himself to the inside, but recovers it. Does tap the wall, but hey, a little bumping and banging with the wall is not too bad. Hopefully he can get back out on the track and get back up to time. That's going to give it to Christopher Hamilton, Andrew Gunther, and Kevin Foster as they were hoping something like that would happen. Fresh tires, man, sometimes they bite you. They can be just as slick as burnt off tires. You got to be careful. And there we go. Down into the back straight, Christopher Hamilton, Andrew Gunther Kevin Foster, 1, 2, 3. As they fly past, Eric Andrews trying to catch up to him. Followed up by Wes Fuller. And then Willie Evernham. Kevin Foster in the TechNet Professional Racing paint scheme. Sporting both the Texas and Mexico flag. Love to see that. Lone Star State. And it looks like Gunther's getting a run on Hamilton. Hop over to Hamilton right now and give you a rear view of Gunther trying to catch up to him. He had a good run on that back straight, but it looks like Hamilton's able to pull away just a tad bit. But look at this. He's taking him on the inside. Oh, Hamilton's not going to play any defense. And into turn 3 and 4, both Andrew Gunther and Kevin Foster both slide through. Hamilton's going to drop back behind these guys. As they go into 1 and 2, Gunther still in front, Kevin Foster tailing in behind him. Hamilton having to regain his speed. I believe Matt has, I think he's had a podium. I don't know if he's had a full win. I'd have to go back and look at the stats, but I know I've had him up in the booth with me before, but I would love to see him get a finale win. That would be awesome. All right, as you can see, coming out of 3 and 4. It's going to be Matt Crockett, Dylan McDonald, Dalton Drummonds, waiting for both. There's Carl Handwerk out on the track. There they are, out of 3 and 4 right now. That orange, blue, and white paint scheme. You see him coming up in front right now. Andrew Gunther, Kevin Foster. And, oh, a caution is out. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like Dylan McDonald got into it. Let's go ahead and jump over to a quick critical hit bachelor's caution report and find out exactly what happened. By exactly, I mean, you know, what I think happened. All right, here we go. Looks like Dylan McDonald just drives up to the outside wall, says hello, can't control it, and sends himself for a spinning teacup ride right there, courtesy of ooh, he blew up his engine, ouch, but courtesy of Disneyland there. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a critical hit Bass Lewis caution report. That looked painful. All right, don't look now, folks, but we are 30. Yeah, we're sub 29 laps away from the white flag. Caution's out. That has been a pretty fast race so far. Once again, you know, we did start at 5:45 Pacific Standard Time. Ooh, everyone's hitting the pits. Who is going to stay out? We have Key Sweater and Lore. Nope. Key Sweater hits. Is Lore going to hold, or is he? Oh, he's 2 laps behind. He's got to regain those laps. I'd be back out on the track just running them. You got to do it. Yeah, that's a smart call. Lore's got to stay out and just run it. So once again, Hamilton looks like he's up in the P1 spot. Is Andrews able to get around him, though? Who is out first? Oh, nope, take that back. I think Andrews might, though. He dropped first. No! Kevin Foster and Andrew Gunther out of the pits! Possibly a penalty for Hamilton there. Burning the rubber, trying to beat them out of the pits. Oh my gosh, he might have a pit speeding penalty. Good to see Dave Lore get back a lap. Hopefully he's able to get back 2 if he can get back out on time. All right, so Kevin Foster, Andrew Gunther, Christopher Hamilton are 1, 2, 3, and then behind them, Wes Fuller, Eric Andrews, and Willie Evernham. Yes! The number 19 working his way up the field after getting caught up in an accident. Look at that. Actually, no, he didn't get caught up in an accident. That was Carl. He drove past that accident in style. I'm glad to see Willie's up here in the top 6. That's awesome. Let's see if he can work his way past Eric Andrews and Wes Fuller in these next 29 laps, give or take. Oh, no. Take that back. It's going to be 24 laps. Yeah, roughly. Give or take a few. Well, let's see if he can get back up there and get past these guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we are still going on the caution. I apologize, I have to take a quick bathroom break, but I'm going to leave it locked on to Christopher Hamilton and Andrew Gunther for this restart. So enjoy the race. I'm going to go ahead and cue the music. And All right, and I'm back. Looks like Andrew Gunther up in front, Wes Fuller, and both, looks like Dalton Drummond's, or sorry, Dylan McDonald and Wes Fuller, who are lap drivers right now, I believe, are in the mix. Nope, sorry, take that back. Fuller's up in front. Christopher Hamilton, Kevin Foster, these guys racing. I missed out on some great action. Oh, man. Look at that. Let's zoom out a little bit so you guys can see these guys shuffle around. Once again, Andrew Gunther up in front. Dylan McDonald, Wes Fuller, Christopher Hamilton, Kevin Foster, Eric Andrews, and Carl Handwerk. Looks like we had a great restart for these guys. Into 3 and 4, Gunther holding on. Wes Fuller's got to play some defenses. Foster and Hamilton are looking for a pass on him. Foster finds one on the inside. Can he take it? There we go. Side by side, going for the exit. Fuller doing a great job holding on. Hamilton dropping off. Carl Handwerk working his way up in front of him. As you can see, these guys shuffling back and forth. Beautiful transition. Look at that. Dalton Drummond's looking for a pass on the inside of Eric Andrews. Ooh, catches the apron there. That's going to go ahead and mess up his run. Carl Handwerk able to get around Wes Fuller. Wes Fuller and Christopher Hamilton side by side. Looks like Wes's tires are burning off and falling off pretty fast. As Kevin Foster is closing in on Dalton Drummond's and looking to get around to Andrew Gunther right now. He has a lap driver he's got to get around, but it is going to be a difficult one because that is Dalton Drummond, or sorry, not Dalton Drummond's. That's Dylan McDonald in the number 38. McDonald is a hard driver to beat. Look at that. McDonald overshoots that section. I think his tires are finally barking at him. 13 laps to go. Into 1 and 2. It's Andrews and Foster once again. Carl Handwerk slowly creeping his way up there. Willie Evernham moving his way up, going from 6th to 5th. He's got Christopher Hamilton and Carl Handwerk to get around. He's got to work his way up to that fight. Gunther having to hold off both. Foster, looks like McDonald dropping back, so it's going to bring up Carl Handwerk. Uh-oh. That is going to be a dastardly duo to go ahead and race against both Foster and Handwerk, and I'm pretty sure Handwerk's going to give Foster a push. He wants to get these guys up here. He's not going to battle it out with them. He's going to try and close that gap and give himself an opportunity to catch up. As they leave out of turn 2. Clean exit. Beautiful run there. Foster closing the gap. This is it. He's got to do it. 10 laps till the white flag. No time to hold back now. Hopefully their tires can last. Once again, we saw how much these tires played into a huge effect of their race or of their lap times. Foster moving up to the outside. Just wheeling it behind Gunther. Gunther doing everything he can to stay up in front. I love to see that. That man is holding on for dear life right now. Ooh, close action for Willie Evernham back there. Let's go check that in as he passes Christopher Hamilton. And Dalton Drummond's right behind him. Exiting of 4. Looks like Gunther's tires are starting to wear on him as he is not able to close in on that corner as tightly as he'd like. We're getting close and closer to the finish of this race. Gunther sends it down just a little bit deeper this time, but you can see that he can't get to the bottom of the line. He's got to drive that mid to low line. I think this is it. If Kevin can just stay behind him and not let... He's also got Carl waiting, so the problem is if he makes a move and he makes a mistake, Carl's going to get around him. So Kevin needs to buy his time. He needs that one shot, and it's got to be perfect. It can't be a half-cocked try and pass, and then, I'll rack it back again, because if he makes a mistake right now, Carl Handwerk is hot on his tail. There's no way he's going to get that back. So he's got to wait for the last minute, if I was him. I wouldn't let Carl pass, and I would wait for that last minute to try and pass Gunther. You don't want to give Carl an opportunity to try and swing past you if you burn off too much speed, because that is going to bode well for both him and possibly Gunther. Oh, man. The pressure's building right now. 6 laps till the white flag. Take that back 5 laps. Carl looking to the inside of Foster. Is he going to send it? He's going for it. Oh, he's got to be careful. Getting a little sideways there. On the exit of 2. Down into 3 and 4. Slightly staggered. Looks like they're going for a little bit of a side draft there. Foster taking the outside line. What is going on? Foster does not want to let him pass. He's going to try and hold him off with everything he's got. Handwork pushing inside. Oh, he's got the edge. He's going to try and close the deal. He just slid in front. And he's going to go for a cross. Oh, he's going to take on Gunther. He's going to go for a 2-for-1 in 1 lap. He's going to try and beat Gunther on the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Handwerk is going for an outside pass. What? He's got his nose in front of him. No way. Come on, Gunther. Don't let this happen. Not like that. There we go. Push out. Push out wide. Keep him up on that wall. Into the corner. Handwork's just got a nose ahead of him, but remember, Gunther is on the shorter line. We're going to have 2 laps to go for the white flag. It is Carl Handwerk and Andrew Gunther neck and neck. 2 laps to go. Oh, that is a little too close for comfort between both those drivers. Foster in a good place to be, but Oh, Gunther getting a little loose on that exit. That's gonna cost it. That's it right there. I don't know if he's trying to scrub off Foster or if he just made a mistake, but I'm pretty sure that just did him in. No way. Oh, we got contact in the back of the field. We're going to be finishing under caution. Are we? No. The caution should be coming out. Gunther, stay in front. Don't give it to him. Come on, Gunther. Don't let him go. Nope. It's Handwerk. The number 18, Carl Handwerk, is now clearly up in front of these drivers. Wow. White flags out, ladies and gentlemen. No caution. It is Carl Handwerk, Andrew Gunther, and Kevin Foster. They need to do everything they can to pass him right now. Send it. Give him a push, Kevin. Come on. Give him a push. Let's go. Come on, guys. Go for it. Oh, Kevin not holding up. He's going to go ahead and send himself to the wall. Now it's Andrew Gunther and Carl Handwerk going down into the straight. And there we have it. By a car length, Carl Handwerk passes and finishes. Andrew Gunther in second, Kevin Foster in third. Both of them, no brakes on that, all gas. Love to see that. You know what? It's a championship race. It's okay if the car hits the wall. As long as you cross that line and you put everything on the line, that's all that matters. Beautiful race by all three drivers. I wish Gunther did not have that issue on the exit of 2 on that 3 laps to go. I think that's what really did it to him. And I don't know if he's trying to scrub off Kevin or if he just came off that corner just a little too hot and his back end just kicked out on him. That was insane. Congratulations to all those drivers. What a race. So the finish is going to be Carl Handwerk, Andrew Gunther, Kevin Foster, Matt Crockett, Willie Evernham, Wes Fuller, Eric Andrews, Christopher Hamilton, Anthony Kieswetter, Dalton Drummonds, Dave Lord, Dylan McDonald, Nick Nickerson. Wow. Way to finish off the season. A lot of battling in the back and also in the front. Love to see that. Carl Handwerk is most likely going to have the championship win. It is then going to go second to Andrew Gunther and then Kevin Foster. All three racing for the championship. Love to see that. That was a rough race for a lot of these drivers, and they pulled it off. That was beautiful. Let's get these guys up into the booth. It looks like Carl just sent himself into the atmosphere. Oh man, I gotta tell those guys not to do that while I'm trying to do stuff. It's so frustrating. I'm trying to click over on stuff and then my camera just flops to this insane, just weird direction. All right, here we go. Let's pull these guys into the booth. Ladies and gentlemen, our third place finisher for tonight, once again in the booth for the podium, Kevin Foster. Kevin, I have to start this off with 3 podiums in a row, I believe, for both the All-Star and both championships. And for both championships, you were all gas, no brakes in that last section. I have to say, you gave it everything, man. You really did, and that's all you can ask for.
I stood into the last corner. I was like, well, I can't pass him, or I don't want to wreck both of them. So I just drove it off in it, didn't hit the brakes, and I was hoping to, trying to pull like a Carl Edwards and bounce off the wall, but it didn't work.
Hey,
hell of a season. I was trying to get
try.
my first win. I was trying to get my first win in the Vintage Series here.
I think he almost had it, man.
If the caution didn't come out, I think it would have been me.
Yeah.
I was a little bit better on saving tires than the rest of the guys, but unfortunately, had a caution. The cream rose to the top, and Carl got it. But wish Nick could have been here tonight. I'm kind of filling in for Nick, and but I almost did him justice. But it's okay. I want to thank all the guys and girls at TechNet Professionals and Advanced Auto Parts for sponsoring the car this year, and hopefully they'll come back next year. And we're definitely gonna have some W's next year and get this car in the victory lane.
With the way you've been driving it, I think you're definitely going to see a W next season. You've been working your way up the field. I know these cars haven't been the easiest for you to adopt to, even though they're really fun to drive. I know you've had a rough season in the Vintage Cup, and I think you're finally coming to fruition. You're figuring out these tracks and really, finding your groove out there.
Yeah, I finally figured out how to drive these things. Learned a lot from Nick and Carl and all the rest of the guys this year on how to drive these damn things, and finally it's starting to pay off and good things coming for next season.
Definitely, man. Good job out there, and way to pull it in with 3 podiums in a row. That was awesome.
Yes, sir. So thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Lucia, for watching, supporting me. And we're on vacation now, boys, so we got a couple weeks off. So gonna relax and take it easy, spend some time with the family, and be back out after it at the end of next month.
Round of tequila on you? Is that what I'm hearing?
I got plenty of tequila, brother.
There you go. First round's on Kevin.
Amen to that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
You got it, man. You have a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, our second place finisher and also pulling second for the championship, Andrew Gunther. Andrew, I have to ask, what happened on 2 laps to go out of turn 2? I saw you kind of lose your back end there. Did you just send it come out too hot out of that corner, or were you trying to shake off Kevin?
I completely blocked Kevin.
Oh,
got me all loose, and then I thought I was gonna hit Carl in the quarter panel, and I was so afraid. I'm like, God, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to take them both out.
Man, dude.
That was definitely a big uh-oh moment.
Yeah, you should have just stuck with it. I wouldn't have thrown that block on Kevin. I would have tried to still run down Carl because it looked like your back end just kicked out too much, and it was just the tires weren't ready for a block. But
yeah.
What a run, dude. You led most of the race. That was insane. Between you and Hamilton.
I saved my best for the last.
Yeah, no, that's what you got to do. That was a beautiful. Worked your way up there. Stayed relevant the whole race, and then found that opening and just punched through. That was definitely a great race, and you had a really good season. A couple wins under your belt, and definitely can't wait to see what we can do for season 2, man.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone you want to thank?
Carl and Kevin for a very fun race, and as always, you for broadcasting it. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Definitely has been, man. Good job out there, and I can't wait to see you back out here.
Yes, thank you.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, our champion and first place finisher for tonight's race, it's going to be Carl Handwerk. Carl, back-to-back championships. You've been a tough one to beat. The running joke in core is Carl outraces everyone. You haven't had the best of seasons. That's for sure. I think Nick's had a better season in both the Premier and the Vintage, but it's been a pretty close fight for both of you guys, and some of the other guys have had a really good run. But dude, you always seem to pop through at the very end, last minute, and snag it away from these guys. What's up with that?
Well, I honestly think, I mean, you can look at it as, Nick's won a lot of battles, but I ended up winning the war. I mean, that's really what it's come down to. I mean, he won a lot of races this year in both series.
I know.
And it sucks that he couldn't compete for this one in here, because I think it probably would have been all four of us running up there for the end. I mean, it was crazy. I'm glad to see, Kevin got a shot with Nick missing out. So at least we had all three of us running up there. But yeah, I mean, it's been a hell of a season, just like Premier. This was not easy. And even this one right here, this finish right here was kind of a testament to the entire season. I mean, it was not easy at all. I mean, I had to drive from 10 seconds ahead of the leader, essentially all the way back up to the front. Luckily, I got that caution.
Yeah, no, that caution really saved a lot of people's butt and kind of got them up to the front. What I was really kind of surprised by this race was really how much those tires played into effect of your driving time. We saw before that second pit stop, both Dalton Drummond's, Christopher Hamilton just drop off the map because of how much those tires were really just, pretty much slowing them down. They couldn't take the corners fast enough, and they were losing. I think it was a second and a half or a second each lap. Like, it was pretty intense. You just immediately want to hit the pits after that. You don't want to be out there when you're losing that much speed.
No, exactly. But I think one thing that it looked like a lot of guys struggled with, and this is just kind of me driving, around in the pack with them, is everybody was trying to just drive really hard, and all it was doing was beat off the tires. And in this case, this was a situation. In this case, this is a situation where slow was fast. I mean, I basically stuck that thing down on the white line as much as possible through the corners, and it's really easy to drift up off of turn 2 and even turn 4. But if you could keep it down on that white line, for me it seemed like it saved tires. I mean, there were a couple guys.
You're not crossing over and having the tires pretty much scrub off as you're exiting the turn, which it does make you a little bit faster, but at the same time, that pretty much it's like a cross section for the tire. It's not good.
No, yeah, and I know a couple guys blew their right front tires.
Oh, really?
Like right at the end of their runs there, and
wow.
Like, well, I feel like I'm driving driving the tires off of this car, so I'm probably gonna blow it too. And no, I mean, I was good. I actually seemed like it saved more than everybody else. So
yeah,
I mean, it was. Oof.
That motto that you just said, slow is fast kind of situation. Honestly, that crosses over into so much for iRacing and in racing in general. As fast as it is to to just stomp on it and try and take the fastest line, sometimes being slower and consistent tends to win in the long run, with just having good times and repeating those times, because you may have a first fast 10 laps, but if you can't keep that up for 30 or 40 laps, there's no point in racing those 10 laps that fast.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this almost kind of drove like a road course where you had to kind of sacrifice your entry for a good, clean exit. And I mean, that's kind of what I focused on the whole race. So, I mean, I don't know if Nick can kind of touch on that for the little bit that he was in the race, but to me, that's kind of how it drove for me.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed, I mean, I didn't get to run any long tire stints, but you really had to slow up your entry and just kind of roll through the corners a lot, because this thing got really tight when those tires started to wear out. I don't know what it was like after 20, 30 laps or however long your stints were, but I imagine that's where the cream of the crop rises there.
Yeah, and that's where I think maybe my tire. I did have a little bit of a tightness towards the end of the run, but I think because of the lines that I was running, that kind of helped the longevity of the tires, and I wasn't pushing as much as some of these other guys. I mean, at the end there, when I was running around Gunther behind Kevin, I was just saying to Gunther, it looked like 3 or 4 times he was going to push up into the turn 2 wall because his car was getting that tight. So, trust me, when I went to the outside of him, I'm like, this is going to end really bad.
Yeah.
I was hoping he didn't push up, get into me, and then I'd take everybody out. That would have it would have been good for Willie, but yeah, it was sketchy. But I mean, that racing at the end there, shows kind of what we can do in this series because, Gunther could have easily got into me a couple times. Kevin could have got into me when I was going, on the inside of him. But these guys race clean. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's been a great season, and honestly, from where you guys started to where you are now with the vintage cars, I think we have a great show to show for everyone. It's 2 cautions. Wow. And
Yeah,
especially here, when you guys were, during practice, pretty much breaking loose and drifting around the corners.
Yeah, and with everything that was on the line tonight, I expected it to be a little bit more of a, maybe not a caution fest, but I didn't think we were going to go full stints for sure.
No, I'm glad you guys went full stints. That's, honestly, that for a lot of the drivers out here that have kind of toned it down a little bit and have pushed it to go full stints, you see them make some really good moves. Like, I hate to take away from you a little bit, but I like to shout out Willie Evernham, Wes Fuller, Eric Andrews, and Christopher Hamilton. Even where was he at? Dylan McDonald, fighting, trying to get himself back up there. And Matt Crockett, a lot of the other guys that were behind you guys, they all had a chance to really, fight in that top pack. Some of them even drove up the whole field like you did, just to stay there. And it's a tough race when you go full stints because it comes down to, it's an endurance. It's not a quick 10 laps and you're over, just kind of stomp it and go. You have to, it's all about timing. It's all about making passes. And a lot of these guys are really, working into that. I've seen some great battles between, Wes Fuller and Willie Evernham during this race, and a couple other drivers, some really good battles. And so it's really cool to see that happen where you guys are kind of pacing each other out and making those passes where they need to happen. Hopefully we'll start seeing those guys, win some more races. But other than that, dude, great job and a great way to end the season.
Yeah, I love all these guys that are in here. It's awesome coming in here every week, and you see with this series, we had 12 or 13 different winners this year. That's awesome. That's what I love to see. I love to see different winners every week. It sucks when you see the same names up there week in and week out, and I know I'm gonna catch some crap for saying that coming from me, but I really do. I'd love to see somebody different every single week winning. So I'm definitely looking forward to next season. I know we're going to be bringing in a lot more talent and could have bigger fields. So it should be fun. But one thing we will have is a little bit different rule changes. We're not going to finish these races under caution anymore. I know that was a big sticking point. So that
was a tough one. That was a tough one.
It's a relief for the leader, but it's a real bummer for anybody behind him when you have 4 laps to go and you get a yellow and the race is over. So.
I thought this race was going to end under caution because that one of the drivers, I don't remember who it was, I didn't really see, but he broke loose on the on the out of turn 4 and crossed into the pits, and I was expecting a caution to come out right as Gunther passed you.
Yep,
and then,
I heard that. I heard somebody going through the grass, and then they're in the pits, and me and Gunther were side by side at that time. I'm like, oh god!
I was like, Gunther, don't let up. There's a caution coming. Just keep going. Just hit the wall. But yeah,
that was good.
And
we will see a lot more night races next year too. So
I hope
that'll
so.
help tire wear for sure, because these noon races just
chew it
eat,
up.
What out of the tires.
Yeah, no, they chew them up. Well, Carl, great job out there. Nick, sorry you couldn't make it, but
this entire season was a blast. I can't believe it's over because I remember complaining about how long this season was going to be. I kind of feel like it flew by now.
I was like, how many races?
I know.
That's long.
I think half the drivers in here are just so happy that there's a break, and the other half are all right, when do we start again?
Exactly.
Honestly, in the beginning, I thought I was going to get kind of bored of it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just how I felt the cars in the beginning. But now, dude, I can't wait to race again. It's just so much fun. The way they handle, it's great.
Well, I like how it's a lot of the drivers that we see, do pretty well on specific cars in the Premier Series are really strong on these vintage cars, and it's really cool to see, some of the short track guys come up and be able to drive plate tracks against you guys. It's in these vintage cars because they handle a little bit like a pretty much like a super late model in a weird way. So they have a little bit of loosey goosiness to them, and it's cool to see that. And also, what's really cool is with the new I guess car model, you can countersteer with these cars, which is super helpful. Being so loose.
Oh, absolutely. And Carl said, like, this season we had so many different winners. And, I'm not letting anybody win by any means.
No.
I know Carl's not. So, that's
No.
just people putting themselves in the right place. And, the difference between the beginning of the season and now is, like, so vastly different in the talent of a lot of these guys.
Oh, yeah. I remember the first couple races, they're caution fests.
Yeah.
They were tough.
I know. So I'm looking forward to this next season to see, after everybody gets a little bit of break and a breather and they come back, a little more clear-headed. I bet it's going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah. I think we're going to see them pull a little bit of a Chris Hamilton and disappear, come back and do better, because they've had a chance to kind of breathe, relax, and not be as tense on the track as they used to be. It's always the first season of anything you do competitively. It's tough. You're if you win, you're lucky. And usually it takes a couple seasons to really find your groove and really grow. But when you take a break like that, and you're able to come back with a fresh mind. You see things in a different light. And you're like, oh, I didn't see that before, and then you can improve upon it.
And I hope some guys.
You mean like Hamilton realizing that ovals are good?
I don't know about that, man. I wouldn't say good.
Not too far? All right.
You took it a little too far. Okay.
I love me some ovals now. All right.
I'm just gonna spin in a circle and point the camera at the cars. No, ovals are a blast. I've grown to love them, and that was a hard one to sell for me, because I've always thought that it was kind of boring. But these vintage cars, there's an element of, I don't know how to put it, an element of risk to them, in the sense of you don't really know what's going to happen with the way you guys drive the cars. We've seen guys completely, like, the car is pretty much sideways and you're taking the corner, and you're throwing laps, and then I've seen guys drive the outside line like you were doing and beat someone. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, these cars, you have to drive them on edge. If you want to be fast, you have to drive them on the edge, and if you're not ready for it, it's going around on you.
Yeah, but that just takes time. But with that being said, I think everyone is ready for the break. New Year's just right around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last broadcast for Death by Moose Media overall. So if you're still listening, thank you so much for tuning in. We're actually going to be transitioning over to Racecraft TV. I'll be giving all the guys all the details. I'm partnering up with them so that we can have a larger outreach and bring more racing to everyone out there. So please don't be shy. Tune into other broadcasts. I will be broadcasting for them for the races, and I'm definitely going to try and get some of these core guys to come race in some of those races, because they're going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have some pretty cool stuff going on. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your viewership. Thank you, Carl. Thank you to everyone in Core and the Vintage Series, and also you D Series guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate everything you guys do. It's been a hell of a season. We've grown so much, and the New Year's around the corner, and we have 2 more seasons that are coming up, and they're going to be amazing. So don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to already go ahead and subscribe to Racecraft TV if you want to, and also don't forget to check out the Core Racing League website. Carl and Paul Butler put in so much effort there. I show people that website when I'm doing like not interviews, but like meetings. I'm like, oh hey, this is what these guys do, and they're like, what? It blows people away. It is extremely professional. If you look at other esports, like major esports websites, aren't that professional. It's beautifully done. Paul Butler does a great job, and then you do a great job updating with all the stories and the facts and the pictures. It is a lot of love and effort, and it really shows with this league. So thank you for putting this on and letting me broadcast. Once again, thank you for everyone tuning in. I hope you guys all have a good night. Also, for our sponsors for the broadcast, your sponsors for the race, Your Buying Machine, TechNet Professional, Mission Car Care, Southern Heart Creations, and Joker Graphics. I really appreciate all the work they do and help out, especially Joker Graphics. Josh puts in a lot of time for these paints, and it's beautiful. Every single paint out there with his stamp on it, it looks good. So thank you, Josh, so much. I know it's tough sometimes, but you do a great job out there, and we really appreciate it here at Core. And then also for our broadcast sponsors, Critical Hit Bachelors and Southern California's Nautilus Media Systems. Guys, it's been a hell of a time. I hope you guys all enjoy the break, and I'll see you guys later.
Happy New Year, everybody.